Huge news, Gooners, with Viktor Gyokeres has moved to Arsenal heating up. Let's get into the news. How's it going, guys, and welcome back to Punch Drunk Arsenal, your home to all the latest Arsenal news and transfer updates. In today's episode, we've actually got some breaking news coming out of Portugal. I think it's Correio de Manha. Not really sure how to pronounce it, but it's a publication out of Portugal. They've actually stated now that Viktor Gyokeres' agents will be presenting the package that Arsenal gave them, as well as the transfer fee proposal to the Sporting Lisbon board today. That's very exciting news. As we told you guys yesterday and over the last couple of weeks, that this is going to be a very big week for Arsenal and Viktor Gyokeres. We personally were told that we just need to wait for after the Taca de Portugal, which was on Sunday evening, that Arsenal were going to make their move for Gyokeres, and now we're actually seeing those steps happening and coming into place. Andrea Berta, as we mentioned before, is a huge fan of Gyokeres. He's actually the one that personally pushed for the deal. Prior to his arrival at Arsenal, we were definitely all steam ahead going for Benjamin Sesko. Sesko deal not completely dead yet, like I mentioned. Sesko is a backup or somewhat of an alternative to Gyokeres in case that move doesn't go through. But at this moment in time, the news we're hearing and the coming out of Portugal is all pointing towards Arsenal signing Gyokeres. Bertza is obviously a huge fan of him. He's the one that's been personally pushing to get the deal done. And like we said, Judd, this was going to be a very big week for Gyokeres to Arsenal. And now it looks like it's finally coming to fruition. I think we're going to see this transfer be completed sooner rather than later. And what a transfer it's going to be. We've spoken about this multiple times before, and most of you know as well. Gyokeres is arguably the best striker in Europe at the moment. 64 goals across all competitions, including internationals for Sweden, as well as I think it's 12 assists, so that's 75 plus goal contributions this past season alone. And he's not a one season wonder. He's been doing this for the last 2 to 3 years. I think it's about 100, around 100 goals for Sporting over the last 2 seasons, which is outstanding numbers. I mean, Liverpool signed Darwin Núñez for about 75 to 80 million, and he wasn't even able to put up these numbers during his time in Benfica. So I think this is a very exciting transfer for Arsenal. Whether or not we go now, not whether or not, let me just probably put it like this. When do we see this transfer getting completed? Not too sure. I know the Gunners are pushing to get it done as soon as possible. Hopefully we get more news coming out of from a different variety of sources regarding this deal. But like I said, this is definitely the guy we need. Arsenal, we've been crying out for a world-class elite level striker, and he's just the man to come into the club for us. Known for his dribbling, his lethal running, his link-up play. He's a striker that can do it all. Obviously, he hasn't scored too many headers over the last couple of years. I think it's about 2. But he can score off his right, he can score off his left. He scores penalties, free kicks, as well as goals from outside the box. So he's going to offer Arsenal a lot of variety in the attack, something which we have been lacking the last couple of seasons. Even with Havertz playing in front, Havertz isn't the scapegoat. He's a decent player, but he's more of a link-up player. So the attack becomes a little bit predictable. You know, Havertz isn't really going to be shooting from outside the box. You know, he doesn't have that initial burst of speed to get past defenders. He's more so for his back towards the opposition goal, linking up play, quick little passes, getting into space, and then maybe getting the goal. But as we all know, so he's not the most clinical finisher. So bringing in someone like Gyokeres definitely going to elevate our side to another level. Alexander Isak has always been Arsenal's dream target. We told you guys at the beginning of this past season that Arsenal were going to go in big time for Isak this upcoming window. Unfortunately, Newcastle have been quoting the Gunners huge astronomical numbers throughout the year, which made it seem like that a deal would actually be impossible. Even without Champions League football, a deal for Isak to Arsenal would always have been seen as quite impossible. Now with Champions League football, I think no one's going to take him away from the Magpies. But guys, I think the Gyokeres news, obviously it's a little bit of breaking news coming out of Portugal today. I think the fact that his agents are actually also going to be putting the proposal towards the sporting board is a very good sign. We heard around the 9th of May, 10th of May, there was another meeting between Arsenal and the agents of Gyokeres. where Arsenal actually presented this initial proposal to them, the package that they want to give him. I believe it's for a 5-year contract for around £200,000 per week, which is agents were actually pleased with during that time as well. Though obviously, I know they might not have presented him the full package or whatever, but they obviously spoke to the player. They got his green light to go forth with negotiations with Arsenal. And now, following this week, I think we've seen that these negotiations have actually been very positive and working towards our favour. Mikel Arteta also, after the Southampton game, said that this can be an important week for the club. They had discussions yesterday over who the targets were going to be. Even though Arteta probably did push a little bit for Sesko, I don't think he's going to be too disappointed with getting someone of Gyokeres' level into the club for next season. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. It's a little short episode, just breaking news. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna try to keep you guys up to date with all the latest and breaking news. If more information comes out regarding Gyokeres today or any other player, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you can stay up to date with all the latest news. As always, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Follow Punchdrunk Arsenal on TikTok as well as YouTube for all your latest Arsenal news and transfer updates. And leave your comments down in the comment section below. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Cheers.